Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, principles of management students. Welcome to week number 6. And we are 1 week away from the finale of this theme. Well done for all of you who have kept going and plugging away. I appreciate all of your work and thank you for your commitment to the class and to the discussions. They've been going very well. Thank you all for all of you who have participated properly, have done your job, have done it well. I just want to say how much I appreciate that. Makes my life work smoothly and have good interaction and reading your post and understanding your thought process and makes me feel like we're actually doing something efficient and effective here. So I appreciate that from all of you. Thank you so much. I hope you take that same sort of enthusiasm that you've had in this class with the other classes that you have. That said, just to share with you a little bit about what happened this weekend, as I mentioned last class, I was invited to speak. I had a great time. Got to meet some students actually from our class. Rebecca, who's in one of the classes here, I got to meet her. Spent about a day out there in Atlanta, and unfortunately, I ended up getting some type of food bug or something. So the next day, I laid in bed and just didn't do much. And the Sunday I laid in bed, didn't do much. And then Monday I came back to work. But I was very lethargic, didn't really feel with a lot of energy. Today's Tuesday, and therefore I'm making a video today because I didn't want you guys to see me all gloomy and down and very tired. But I'm feeling better. I did go see my doctor. He said I should be fine, no big deal. Just kind of, just be careful in what I eat and stuff like that. So that's it. That was my weekend, but I did have a great time. I had a great experience. We discussed in the conference in my class or in my session. We discussed leadership in diverse environments, which is something that all of you are going to eventually have to face in your prospective careers, no matter where you go. So one of my goals in that class is always to talk about, what things that make us different and make us special. If some of you, for those of you who know me in other classes and so on, have realized that my story, as I share with you in this week in a video that a speech that I gave during the Teacher of the Year Award in 2019, I share a bit about who I am and my story and the reason why I teach. It's not a very long video. Mine's is very short. Just to give you a background of my journey. And I've had a lot of medical issues go on in my life and go through all of that. But all those things are what makes us. And I mean, many of you have maybe not exactly the similar story, but a similar story to tell in regards to the struggles you've been through. I read some of your posts and are very inspiring. Some of you who have gone through a lot through life in the journey of this world. And I commend you because I think that all of us have a story to tell, and sometimes we get a platform to tell it, and other times we don't even know who's around us and who we're talking to. So I want to take this moment to acknowledge the fact that I recognize that you are all a very unique individual, and I respect that. I want to thank you for the participation in that. So in this week, we focus on a few things. Chapter 11, we talk about motivation of our employees. And you'll see in other courses, the Maslow's hierarchy of needs is a big thing that I focus on. I kind of drill that in a lot of trainings. I talk to a lot of people in regards to what that means. Maslow brought in a very interesting concept of meeting people's needs or people meeting their needs and using that as a motivating factor. I think it's important for any manager to understand that concept of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. The other thing that we talk about is the organizational effectiveness. Therefore, in this, I look at a couple of things. Of course, the concept of teams and what a team dynamic does and the group dynamic of a team. We study the concept of the dynamics of what happens when you unite people together. So I think you would enjoy the relationship in that and how that plays out. Of course, in our discussion, my goal is to help you sort of discover your section in Maslow. And what your discussion is this week is to focus on what would be the motivating factor for you, the purpose statement in your life. What is drawing you to do what you do? Why are you basically going back to school, or starting school, or resetting a career, whatever it might be? So Randy, Dr. Potash, really focuses on his journey through the process and some of the struggles it is. Carnegie Mellon, one of the things that they offered was called the last lecture, where Dr. Potash basically is given an opportunity, if granted a situation where he were to have his last opportunity to give a lecture, what would he do and what would he say to his students? And essentially, the story plays out that not only is this called the last lecture, it's basically one of his last lectures. So it's very intriguing. And then under that, you'll see mine. But in this, I would like for you to evaluate your purpose statement, what it is that you essentially are doing this for. What's the driving force? What's your short-term and long-term goals? What are you trying to accomplish in this journey? I think that we'll all hit walls and we'll all hit circumstances and challenges that we want to give up on, but we have to really go back to that purpose statement. And in business, we have the same thing. We have a mission statement, and we have a purpose statement, and we have a vision statement. And those are guiding factors in a business to help us understand what was the reason for this. Not to throw in a lot of business terminology here, but if whenever you get a chance and you study the purpose of business in the United States based on the Supreme Court of the U.S., the Dodge brothers sues Henry Ford to establish what the real purpose of business is in the United States. And the conclusion is, the verdict of the Supreme Court was that the purpose of business in the United States is to bring profit to its shareholders and benefits to their employees. There is no other reason for it. And in our purpose statements, and even when you incorporate at a legal level, they're going to ask you the incorporation and what's the purpose of the corporation. And many times you're going to find some verbiage that alludes to the profitability of a business. So that said, we also should have a purpose statement. We should have a reason for why we're doing what we're doing. And this journey that you're in right now, why are you in school? What's your purpose in this? Because if you don't have one, it'll be easy for the first challenge to throw you off course. Other than that, I think I want to touch base really quickly on a couple of things. The final next week, you will not have a discussion as similar to your midterm. The final is a multiple choice setup. You'll have one attempt, so please make sure you do it in one sitting. There is no stop and go with this. It is timed. It has a 40-minute timer, so you have about a minute a question. But as I've previously mentioned, the questions are all derived from your midterms, or not your midterm, excuse me, from your weekly quizzes. So you should be very familiar with the conversation of the topics that we have. So your final should be very simple for you to accomplish. That said, I also want to say that because of my policy of having a no late work from McGraw-Hill, I also understand that many of you have gone through a lot of things during the semester or might have some issues. And to avoid being the judge of who deserves or does not deserve a extension or a redo, what I do is I level the playing field by dropping 2 of your lowest assignments and 1 Learn Smart. So essentially, it's like 1 full week, basically a week worth of work that you will be, not so much a week, but close to a week worth of work. Now, you don't have to tell me because the system will automatically look for that and drop those grades from you. So it will help for those of you who couldn't get a Learn Smart done or a homework or a quiz. is going to seek those out and find that and drop that out of your overall grade. Keep in mind, your biggest impact on your grade is going to be your discussion. So your discussions are going to be the biggest impact on your overall grade at a 30% total. And then ultimately you're trying to see if if your midterm and your final is at par, then that's going to be 10%. So it's about 40%, almost half of your grade in total. If you have any questions, please let me know. I will be, again, doing some trainings tomorrow and Thursday, and I'll be training here in the office on Friday for a corporate a session, but should be back in the office by Monday again. But once again, the best way to get a hold of me is via email. If you need to schedule an appointment, please do so. My time is very limited because of all the other activities I have involved, but the best way to do it is lock me in on a time and schedule an appointment on my calendar. That way I have that time blocked out for you. If you leave me a voicemail, it's tough for me to get back because I'm not always in the office, or you can email me and we can attempt to answer your questions that way. That's about it, guys. If you have any questions, please let me know. Today is Tuesday, about 11:06 a.m. It's rainy, and it's been raining for the last couple of days or last couple of hours. So please stay safe out there, drive safe, take care, and we will see you on the next round. Take care, everyone. Have a good day.